Okay, so this is a lesson on finding and interpreting measures of central tendency from raw data. That, of course, is our mean, median, and mode. And also taking our raw data, creating a 5-number summary, and creating a box and whisker plot. Please write down that homework tonight in your new packet is page 6. And then go ahead and open up to page 2 and let's get started. Alright, so this is review. The mean is just our regular average. That's not anything new. If we take all the numbers and we add them up and divide them by the number of numbers, we get the mean. The mean is also, like I said, the average. Alright. The median is the middle number in the data set. So if I line all the numbers up in order, and I find the one in the middle, that would be the median. So if I had the numbers, for example, 1, 2, 3, and then it went 7 and 8, even though they're kind of, there's a big jump, 3 would be the median. If there were if there was an even number of numbers, so like if it went 2, 4, let's say 8, 9, 12, 15, we would go to the middle and add them together and divide by 2. So here the median would be 8.5. And the mode is just the number that occurs the most often. So these two little data sets I made up, they don't really have a mode because none of the numbers repeat. Anything that occurs the most frequently is the mode. So what we're going to do is we are going to use our graphing calculator to find these. Just put a little star around these directions. We will be referring to them later. All right. So the first thing we have is a set of data, and we are going to take, outlier. We are going to study outliers a little more later on in this unit, but there's our definition. It's a value in the set of data that's really out there. It's significantly greater than or less than everything else. So you can see these two little guys, they're kind of pooling on the data. They're like two outliers. They're pooling things right and left. So here we go. We have some data that is in order, and for this one, I am going to do it both on the calculator and by hand so that we can get an idea of how that's going to work. All right, so here we go. All right, so number one, to find the mean, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my calculator and I'm just going to type them in. 25 plus 25 plus 35 plus 35 plus 40 and then 2 55s. Oh, and I see I've got a mistake because I've got 2 pluses. That's annoying. Alright, so delete that. Press enter. And I get 360. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 numbers. So divide that by 9. And we get an average of 40. So where are we? The average, the mean is 40. Now this one, to find the median, they're already in order. That makes life very easy. And I have 9 numbers, which is even easier. So one way people like to do this is they like to go slash. All right, cross off that one. Then cross off one from each side. Cross off one from each side. Cross off one from each side. And we see that the median is also 40, which means that this is a pretty evenly distributed set of data. So what do we notice about them? They are the same. What characteristic of the data set produces this relationship? Grab my typing because I don't want to write that much. The characteristic is that the data is evenly distributed around the center, meaning that 40 is in the middle and the numbers on each side are the same distance away. All right, so number 2, go ahead and I'm not going to type this on the screen calculator because it's a huge pain, but you can type them in, and there are 5 numbers, and go ahead and divide by 5. All right, so if you add these up and divide by 5, you should find that the mean is 8. And again, because they are nice and evenly distributed, or there's an odd number of them, the median is also 8. So again, they are the same. And the characteristic is that, again, the data is evenly distributed. So another way to say that, just to give you another explanation, would be that the points on each side of the median are the same distance away from the median. Okay. All right, so suppose we change the data set. So everyone go ahead, grab your calculator, whoop, and add those up. So we've got 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 100 divided by 5. Go. All right, so now you should find that the mean is a lot bigger. The mean is now 26. But the median is still 8. And so the relationship is that the mean is much larger. What feature of the data set yields this relationship? Well, it's that we now have an outlier. 100 is much larger than all the other data points. I mean, I always like to give the example, like if you had a bunch of 4-year-olds playing basketball and then, like, I don't know, an NBA player came and played with them, well, clearly he would be much bigger and much better than all the 4-year-olds. All right, so everyone go ahead and take a look at page 3, and I want you to try numbers 4 through 7 on your own. You can pause the video while you do this. Okay, so the answer for number 4, the mean is 6.8. The median is 8. The relationship is that the median is larger. And what feature of the new data yields this relationship? Well, if you look, you've got 8, and then we have that 0. We have an outlier 0 that is bringing the mean down. All right. An example of 5 values that could give you the same mean and median, well, you just want to have them like evenly spaced, so like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You could really use any multiples. Like you could use 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, that would work great. You could use 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, that would work great. As long as they're evenly spaced, the mean and the median will be exactly the same. 5 numbers where the mean is less than the median. Well, if we want the mean to be less, we need to have a bottom outlier. So if we had like 2 and then 20, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, that 2 is much lower than the others. And one where it's larger, like if we did, let me see, easy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, clearly that's going to be a top outlier. Great. Which measure of central tendency best represents the data? This is kind of a loaded question because it seems like it's asking an opinion, but it's really not. Normally, it's the average. Like that's why we say your grade. That's why your grades are an average. When we go to calculate your final grades, and of course we use the average. But sometimes, and a lot of you have experienced this, if you have like 1E, it really brings your average down. And you can kind of feel like, well, I feel like that doesn't represent me so well. Well, unfortunately, in the real world, we do use the mean a lot, and you just kind of have to know to not fail things. But in a data set, if you're making an argument, well, that E is bringing me down, it's bringing my average down, it doesn't represent me as a student, you might want to use the median. Okay, so the general rule is the mean is going to be the best representation unless you have an outlier, and then we are going to use the median. So, take a moment and go ahead and find the mean, median, and mode for number 1. Notice they're all in order, so you can so actually, you know what, don't do it on your own. Let's do this one on the calculator, because we haven't done one on the calculator yet. So everyone turn on your calculator. Go to Stat, Edit. If you have any data there, go up, press Clear, press Enter. Make sure your list says L1. All right, so let's go ahead and type them in. 10, 12, 17, 18, 19, oh, these are not in order, 16, 13, 17, 22, and 126. I bet that was a hot day. I sold a lot of popsicles that day. All right, so what we're going to do, once we get our data entered, we're going to go back to those star directions, take a look at them. What are you supposed to press? Stat, arrow to the right, and that very first one stands for one variable statistics. We say this is one variable because we only have one list of numbers. It's not like an XY situation. We're going to press enter. Now, some people's lists might look different. You might not get this screen. If you don't get the screen, you just wait a second. If you get this screen, make sure list says L1. You don't have a frequency list. Let's see what happens. And if we hit calculate, there we go. So again, I'm going to go through it again. You go to stat, you go to calc, one var stats. If you don't see this screen, that's awesome. Just press enter. If you see this screen, it needs to say L1. Don't have anything entered where it says frequency list. And just hit enter until you get to calculate. And there we go. And it's kind of nice. See this little X with the bar over it? That's our average. So make a little note to yourself. X with the line over top of it is the average. So the mean is 27. The median, we're going to scroll down, and there it is. It's 17. And the mode, the calculator won't give you the mode because it's not that smart. It can't like count things. But if I take a look at this, I've got two 17s, and I don't think I have any other repeating numbers, so the mode is also going to be 17. All right, which measure of central tendency, the mean or the median, best represents the typical number of popsicles? I would say probably in this situation, the median, because the outlier of 126 is bringing the average up. I mean, look at that average, 27. Only one day did they sell more than 27 popsicles. Most of the time they sold in the teens. So it says, which measure of central tendency, the mean or the median, should the president of the student council use to convince the members that the sale is going well? Well, this is where you want to use the mean. And mainly because it's higher. All right. Number 2, Kenneth is able to chug a bottle of water in one huge gulp. His classmates timed him each time he drank a bottle. The results are shown in the table below. Now, this is kind of tricky because it looks like it should be an XY pair, but I want you to look. Here it says bottle number. So like really, it could say like Gatorade, Coke, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Sprite. It's just what bottle number. Really, this is our data. So everybody circle those numbers. It says find the mean, median, and mode for the time it takes Kenneth to finish a bottle of water. So we're going to go ahead and pause the video and find those 3 things. Okay, you should get the mean is 3.6. The median is 3. And the mode is 3. Now, here, when you look at these numbers, they're all 3s, 4s, and 5s. I don't really think I would consider 5 an outlier. It's just a little bit higher. So here I would say the mean best represents the data. Because there are, I should probably type that, but you'd like that better, it'd look better. Because there are no outliers, so it is a good representation. All right, so what I want everyone to do is turn to page 4. This is going to be a review. We're just going to start typing stuff in. The lower extreme is the minimum. The lower quartile is the middle of the lower half. Everybody make sure you're writing this down. The median is the middle number. The upper quartile is the middle of the top half. And the upper extreme is the maximum. All right, I am guessing that most of you have done this before. If you take a set of numbers and you line them up in order, so like from 1 to whatever, 1,000. Okay, the bottom, this is the minimum, the lower extreme. The top is the maximum. In the middle, you have the median. Now, if we take this bottom half and we split it in half, this is where we get the lower quartile. We get Q1 because it's the middle between the minimum and the median. And what we do is we draw a line from here to here, and then we're going to connect these. Everyone make sure you have this diagram in your notes. Then between the median and the maximum, we go halfway there, and that is Q3. We draw a line from Q3 to the maximum, and we connect. And this should be review. All right, so let's take a look. How to construct a box and whisker plot. So what I want everyone to do is to go into Stat Edit and type these numbers in. So I'm going to go up, I'm going to press clear and enter, and then I'm going to type them in. And I really, really wish I could just type these in, not have to click them. 75, 90, 95. Oh, how do you figure those numbers? Because it works. 80, 85. 70. 100. Okay, and I have 10 numbers. You see how it says L110? That means I've entered in 9 numbers. So I'm just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I think I missed one. So I'm going to go back and just double check, make sure I typed them all in correctly. 80, 75, 90. 95, 80, 75, 90, 95, 65, 65. Oh, I missed the 80. So I can do second insert and it'll like put a little 0 in there and I'll put the 80 in. Alright, cool. Alright, now once I do that, to get the 5-number summary, all I'm going to do is go to Stat, Calc, and I'm going to pick one var stats again, one variable statistics. And there we go. So here we go. The lower extreme is, if I scroll down, you see there it is. Everything's right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the lower extreme is, pen. Oh, turned off. All right, so the lower extreme is, this is annoying. The lower extreme is 80. The lower quartile is 70. The median is 80. The upper quartile is 90. And the maximum is 100. And we are going to just plot. So 80 is going to go, I'll get a line. 70 is going to, wait, what is that? Oh, that's a 65. Oh my God, that's terrible looking. So 65 gets a line. 70, so here to here. This is the minimum. This is Q1. This, whoops, no, that's not Q1, crap. Minimum, Q1. Median. up to the maximum. All right, and then you can write the directions yourself. What I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and turn to page 5, and I want you to fill in. I want you to go ahead and work in your groups on page 5. I'll put up the answers in a minute. Okay, so here are the answers if you need to check them. And the important thing is that each part of the box and whisker plot contains 25% of the data. Your homework tonight is page 6.